All right, as a fellow worship leader, I am always on the lookout for the best deal when it comes to in-ear monitoring. If you're like me, you use a click and guide cues and multi-tracks and playback, or some combination of all those. And if you're going to be on stage leading worship and you're going to use click track, you got to have in-ears. And I struggle sometimes wondering how to review a bunch of in-ears without making every video seem the same and wondering if I like every single one of them. And I was just sent a set from KZ, which, you know, by the way, means something. I just saw it. KZ stands for Knowledge Zenith. At least I read that online. I never knew that. I don't even know if that's for sure true. Anyways, I'm trying to make sure that I am honest about my reviews, that I try to help you guys make the best decision financially. And right here, we have the AM16s. AM16, 16 drivers. A few years ago, that would have been insane to think, and under $100. Right now, they're like 88 bucks. $88 and you get 16 drivers. Jimmy, what are drivers and why does that matter? Well, the more drivers are like the individual speakers that are responsible for certain frequencies that you hear, like bass, mids, and treble. And if you have 16 of them, you can have several for mids and several for bass and several for the high so that you get the best quality possible. And usually you pay for that a bunch of money. Well, here we are, under $100, definitely a budget pair of in-ears, and we are about to hear what 16 individual precise drivers sound like. And does it actually mean better quality or not? Let's dig into it. The packaging is definitely budget. You know, I review some other ones where you get like a case and everything. There's no case. It's just this box that apparently I can't hold on to. There's also two versions to these AM16s, and I was wondering which ones I was going to get. One is bass enhanced, and those are the ones they sent me. If I could have requested or if I'd have known ahead of time, I would have requested the more flat, because that's usually what I'm looking for. I'm looking at these for two different reasons. What sounds good on stage when I'm playing live, and also what is good for creating presets through like a modeler, like a Helix or an HX Stomp or Pod Go. Those are the things I'm worried most about, which is why I wouldn't normally choose the bass enhanced versions, because I want a even representation of what's coming through so I can dial in what I need to dial in and it sound the most accurate. Let's review the cable first. KZ has never, up to this point, ever put one of those cinchy things on their cables. And I don't expect them to start now, but that's one of my biggest requests, is that they would put the little slidey cinchy thing, whatever that thing is called, on the cable so I can... And there it is, it's not there. Now, I've seen people use one of these, and you could use the thing that comes in with it. Maybe that's what they're expecting you to do. Surely not. But you can wrap this around there. Oh, here we go. There's another camera up there. You can wrap this around there and slide it if you want. These look great. You can see, I don't know, I don't have like a macro style camera, but you can see those metal things in there. That is what houses all the individual drivers. And I guess there are 8 in each side. So I'm going to plug it up and hear what it sounds like. The cable seems budget. You can upgrade the cable. And I just read that they have like these Bluetooth things that you can buy that disconnect and actually plug these into Bluetooth headphone adapters, which I think is pretty cool. Maybe they can send me some and I can test those out. I do like that the cable has that shield on it, so you don't feel like you're just going to break off the little prongs that are in there. There we go, and I'm ready to put them on and see how they fit. They seem kind of big, which is good because I have big ears. They do feel nice. I'm going to be honest. They feel pretty good. I wish I could just cinch up the thing though. Let's see what that looks like. Seems like a really good seal. The last ones I made a video about, they were smaller and they wouldn't seal in my ear as well. So let me listen to them and then I'm going to come back to you and tell you my thoughts. I'm using Epidemic Sound this time because I don't want to get copyrighted. Okay, I gotta use a reference. I gotta use what I typically use so I can at least compare. Just so you guys know, week to week, I've been using the Kiwi Orchestra Lights. These are about $220. You can get them on sale for $199. So we're talking over $100 more. But that initial sound was awesome. I thought that was great. And I'm being completely honest about that. It sounded very good. That's why I want to compare these. Switch. Okay, let's listen to some guitar tones. Now, I can, from that little test right there, and this is probably due to the fact that it's the bass boost version. I didn't notice the bass getting out of control, but it did feel a little more mid-scooped than these, which the thing I like about these is that they are accurate. They are flat response. These seem to have a little touch more of high end on the top end, and the low was just nice. So the bass boost wasn't a problem for me. Let me hook them up to some guitar stuff and let me see if I can tell the difference. Again, really good seal. Okay, yeah, do I recommend them? I do. For the price range and the sound quality, that was a really good experience. Here's what they look like up close. I do know that this little gold button right here is what tells you if you have bass boost. If that thing is silver, then you have the regular style. If KZ, which I don't even know, if they offer an upgrade on the cable, I would feel like I was using a really quality set. The only thing that made this experience feel anything less than a $250 set is the cable itself. So I would just upgrade the cable and you'd be in business. For $88, I even saw one over there for $77. That is pretty cheap for the 16 drivers. Really does spread out the sound in a really good way. The bass was not too much, even with the bass boost. The highs were a little bit more forward. Like I would say that this was mids pushed compared to these, or this is mid scooped with the upper mids being pushed. A lot of clarity on the top. So if you are a vocalist, for sure, especially if you're in charge of your own mix, like we use the P16s by Behringer, and you can like even EQ your own channel. These would be great for vocalists for sure. If you're using like a violin, guitar, even the bass with the bass boost. Like I said, this is a good all-around pair. So I do highly recommend these. Thank you for watching. If you are in the market, don't buy stuff you don't need. But if you are in the market, I will have Amazon affiliate links down below for these. So go check them out if you need a pair. If not, then just watch another video. You know, just stick around, subscribe, hang out. All right, I'll see you in the next one.